guys enjoy this video, remember that you guys should subscribe, ring that notification bell, and follow me over on social media. You can also join the public CalPals community Discord server in order to chat with me and the other members. If you want to get some awesome rewards and support us directly, take a look at our Patreon. Some of these rewards include early access to all of our videos, from reactions to discussions, as well as being able to have us react or discuss whatever ship, theory, or topic that you want. Now, on to the video. So Carmine and Bertilak are the two new characters that are in RWBY After the Fall. So this is a spoiler video. We will be talking about spoilers. I've made the title as vague as possible, just talking about them too. So y'all cannot get fucking mad at me, okay? This is a spoiler video. They are villains. That is the spoiler. They are the bad guys. As if you didn't already know. Because in Amity Arena, they describe her as like cold and cutting or something like.
Which is weird because in the book she was like likable. Maybe it was like false, like kind of like how Emerald does it.
A little, yeah, you know what I mean? And so she's a villain. Yeah. He's a villain. So Carmine is the one in the thumbnail, who is the hot one, and then Bertilak, apparently no one gave a shit enough about him to put him in Amity Arena because he's not in there. Sorry. And so yeah, so he has a green motif and a
motif?
He has a green mohawk and goatee. They're both.
Well, a motif is when your goatee curls up under your chin along your back and into a mohawk.
Based off of King Arthur characters, so one of them is the Red Knight, one of them is the Green Knight, and we can assume that there are blue and black knights just because in the story there's four brothers, I guess, and they're all related. And yeah, so that's their character inspiration. But today we were talking about sort of the villain plot of the book. So they were paid by their boss to capture people with powerful semblances.
Not Andrew. His name was not Andrew. I keep on thinking it's
Edward and Gus. Gus had a semblance that makes mood bombs, so heightens people's emotions, both positively and negatively. Yes. And then Grandpa has a semblance that blocks out other people's semblances. And so those are two very powerful semblances that somebody like Salem would possibly want. However, Hunter and I have differing opinions on this. And I have a crack theory that I would like to sort of share. But let's go over the basic one first.
So can I go my theory, I suppose?
The basic theory would be is that Salem is doing this.
Because I think
he also has a long scar in his arm, and that really made me think of Tyrion for some reason, that Tyrion, like, pinchered him or something, like punished him in some way, and so that's kind of
how I imagine it going is that they describe it that something like his mood bomb, his semblance, he can't control it, and he can just make everyone incredibly emotional.
I feel like they would like torture him and make him sad, and then it would make everyone else sad. Like
it's like it heightens other people's emotions, so it would like a lot more negative emotions. That would mean a lot more Grim would attack them. And they also described that like they were going west from Vale to Vacuo.
When you think about it, though.
But it was also like they said they slightly off course, and just under Vacuo, or just above Vacuo, is the Dragon Island, where we assume Salem is living.
Yeah, and so here's the thing about that is that Bertilak and Carmine also have powerful semblances. They have telekinesis, and they have he's basically the colossal titan.
They didn't say powerful. They said unique.
Well, so you know what I mean?
Because the idea is that they could drop him in the settlement.
She makes a sandstorm, Hunter. I'm pretty sure that she's powerful. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's powerful, but it's like unique, because that seems weird.
Unique is the point.
I think unique was purposefully vague.
Yeah. But telekinesis and sort of, the heat spitting, like heat spits off his body, those are also unique semblances. Powerful semblances.
Well, every semblance is kind of unique.
They're powerful You know what I mean? They're useful to a villain.
I just feel like they were being purposefully vague.
But my point is that what if they were captured first by other people, right? Like, if they're the knights. Like, what if the blue and black knight took them, but the blue and black knight were taken by Salem? You know what I mean? And so it's like, they're not directly in contact with Salem or directly in contact with Watts, but it's sort of like, as more and more people get kidnapped, they get brainwashed and tricked into sort of, and paid and whatever, into doing the capturing, and they capture the next people, and then Gus would have grown up to be this sort of like hard serial killer, like, villain type, and then Grandpa, I guess they would have just threatened him until Grandpa died, so there was that. But yeah, I could see Salem doing that, but I think that they would have...
Also, one thing is that like how Carmine and Bertilak were the knights, and like the queen is often
who
she's
directs the
referred
lights
to,
and all that
or
stuff.
is how
Yeah.
she's Salem's referred to. The queen has pawns, so maybe like because knights also are a chess piece. Maybe that could be an allusion to allegiance with Salem.
Here's the thing about that too is that I'm not sure who would be in charge of this. Like Watts is going to Atlas for what we don't exactly know. You know, they almost went to Vacuo, right? Remember in RWBY Volume 6, they were like, oh, go to Vacuo and get the relic. And they, you know what I mean? Tyrion would have gone to do that. And so I wonder who is in charge of the capturing. Because I can personally see it. Hazel has a unique semblance, and so does Tyrion to some extent. But Tyrion is more based off of his... I thought it's the poison in combination with his tail.
Oh.
I thought that was sort of the idea, that it was sort of a double... thing.
So.
But Hazel has a unique semblance, and so what if he, you know, we know that Salem has sort of manipulated people to join like that, and so I wonder if Hazel's in charge of this, because Hazel was also in charge of like Adam recruitment to some extent. He was in charge of like keeping Adam in line and getting the White Fang to do stuff, and Adam has a pretty strong semblance as well, and so I sort of agree with you that it would make sense, and it would make sense for Hazel to be the one in charge somehow of all of that stuff.
But there could also be branches of this organization that we don't even, like, there could be someone who we haven't seen yet.
Because there are empty chairs.
There are empty chairs, so maybe there's like the Veil branch of villainy.
I hope that they don't make Theodore the headmaster evil again.
That would be twice in a row. It'd be a little
I hope
gratuitous.
that they don't do that. And then Ironwood's gonna be paranoid, not evil, but you know what I mean? I hope they don't threaten Theodore into doing some shit. But it could also be that it's just some random person. Like, it could be that it's not even a villain that is related to Salem.
Well, I feel like they are not going to do that. I feel like they got rid of the White Fang because they feel like the conflict was getting clogged.
Here's your crack theory. This book was released right before the Atlas arc. So what if it's Atlas that is stealing people and not Salem? Here's how I will explain this. There is the aura transfer that was very, very similar. Like, you know how they put somebody in Penny, or at least we assume, or the Fall Maiden powers would come out of Amber and into another person.
They described that Penny was the first robot that could have its own aura, which means it has a soul, which a lot of people think that
Lots of people think that transfer machine was relevant, right? And we see the transfer machine in relation to sucking out maiden powers and putting it in someone else. It would make sense to me that Atlas would be hunting down people that have unique semblances to put those semblances in a robot so they don't die. Because think about Edward. Edward is 71 years old. He's very old for a huntsman. If they can take him, just drain him of his semblance and put that in a robot, right, an intelligent robot like Penny, they would be able to sort of keep that, if that makes sense. Like they would be able to keep that semblance forever, maybe even copy it if we want to get into some genlock freaky ass shit, right? And so they could make a powerful robot. They could almost save that as like data or something and keep inserting it. They could make a bunch of robots that would block people's semblances. Maybe that's a little too far, but you guys understand what I mean. Gus, it's sort of the same thing, and you guys may be like, well, why would Atlas want something that heightens people's mood? And so remember, the semblance works two ways. If you can make people feel positively, you can radiate that positivity, and you could possibly never even have grim attacks if you have somebody.
It amplifies people's moods they already have.
The people's moods that they already have. So if you say the rich people, plant Gus with all the rich people in Atlas and use the happy rich people as like a shield, because their positive emotions would be so much more amplified than the negativity.
Just put him in a room
the grim attacks wouldn't happen.
with a ton of stoners.
You understand what I'm saying, though? Because think about it. The reason why grim attacks don't happen all the time, like, is because people's auras aren't unlocked. If people's auras were unlocked, grim attacks would happen every day. But when something happens like the Vital Tournament, and people saw that they had all these negative emotions, and it started to attract the Grim. Like, the Grim were like, hello, something's going on over there, right? And so if people are unhappy in Atlas, like to a normal degree, where the Grim sometimes sniff them out, sometimes don't, think about how if you can sort of cultivate Gus and put him around the happy rich people that are positive all the time, you just amplify those positive emotions and you never get attacked by the Grim again, right? I don't know which one it is, to be honest. I'm in the more direction of, oh, they're going to be basic, they're going to do it as Salem, but this book came out before Volume 7. How interesting would it be if Ironwood was ordering people to kidnap people with powerful semblance and putting them in robots? And it would be maybe even more interesting if Bertilak and Carmine were already robots, right? Because you know what I mean? We're already like Penny and already like Bertilak and all of that. Already like Penny? Yeah, already like Penny.
And Vacuole and Atlas have had like a very contentious relationship.
Exactly. And remember, Carmine says, oh, I'm from Atlas, but I went to school in Vacuo. Like, that would sort of be interesting.
She's a plant.
It's like she's made in Atlas, but her soul before getting transferred into the robot. This is some Five Nights at Freddy shit, too. Like, people getting stuffed in the suits. But yeah, you guys understand what I mean. I think that's much more interesting, too. And I think that has a moral conundrum. You want people with strong semblance on your side to fight against Salem, but Yasuhashi in his story arc makes a good point. Like, his parents make a good point. You can't take people's memories away. You can't take away people's choices, or you're taking away taking that away from them. You're taking away their humanity. You're taking away their freedom of choice. And so it's also sort of, I guess, related to Genlock. If they're putting people in robots, they could also probably make them forget things, right? They could also probably make them
like that.
Because Penny doesn't seem to be like, oh, I was a real girl before, and now I'm a robot. If she was a soul that was transferred into a robot, right? And so they could probably make her forget, like, this is some freaky Genlock shit. That's what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, I personally vote for this being an Atlas manned project, and that's why Carmen, is like, I'm from Atlas, but I went to school in Vacuo. Yeah, she is a plant, similar to how Penny was a plant, right? But it's just that maybe Carmen and Bertilak were a bit further along, and they came after Penny to some degree. Because like, we don't know if you have to start at the beginning when you enroll in combat school. Like, I feel like they sort of take in like your skills. Like in Vacuo, there are also no rules. So what if they were like, oh, we were third years at Atlas, but now we're coming to Vacuo.
Maybe they lied.
Yeah, maybe they lied. That's what I'm trying to say, is that Iron would help them fix transcripts and lie so they could be robots over there. And so that's my thought. I like that idea a lot better. But Hunter, you think it's a crack theory. After hearing me explain it, do you change your mind?
I feel like it's possible. I still think it's Salem. I still think they may be going straight for it. I think they will do something related. I still think they might do the soul thing with Penny, with Atlas, but I still think that maybe it could just be Salem recruiting.
Okay. I vote for Atlas, guys. Don't worry. But yeah. If my theory comes true, imagine if the most, imagine if this happens.
Didn't you already got the Jin theory?
I know, but imagine if this happens too, and nobody else thought, oh, it's all about Salem. Like, imagine. I'm just so happy.
I feel like they purposely would have made
I
that
love
a
this
misdirection.
book. Go read the book. And yeah, we will see you guys later. Those were our thoughts. Bye. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I'm just going to take a moment here to thank our patrons over on Patreon and our Discord server moderators who are a part of our community. Pals at the $2 tier get exclusive access to our video scripts. They get exclusive access to our schedules, updates, polls, the live podcast, and the chat to ask questions for our monthly Q&A. They also get a name feature at the end of every video. At the beginning of every month, Pals will be able to vote for me to watch the first episode of whatever anime or cartoon that they want. This encourages us to watch some cool new anime that maybe we've never seen before, and if we enjoy it enough, we may put it up in a poll to replace one of our weekly show rotations. The Caterpillars at the $5 tier have access to all previous rewards, and they also have access to our videos a week in advance early access, so that's a week early before they are released onto YouTube. And there's also a special reward. Patrons at this tier will get access to an exclusive reaction series that'll be posted for patrons and patrons only. It will not be public to YouTube until after it's finished and another Patreon exclusive series has started. So basically, the patrons get their own anime reaction series of whatever anime that they vote for, and it's just for them. It won't be on YouTube, so it's totally for patrons and to the benefit of all of the wonderful patrons who support us at this tier. The Calxiyn have access to all previous rewards, exclusive access to our videos as soon as they're ready, and so in the past this has been, say, 14 days, so 2 weeks in advance, sometimes 30 days in advance, so like a month early, sometimes they've been 60 days in advance, so imagine getting to watch the videos on our channel basically 2 months before anyone else, because it does happen depending on how much Hunter and I pre-record in advance. They also have the ability to invite one of their friends into the Discord server without them needing to pledge on Patreon, so if you have a friend that loves the cartoons that we react to, or the anime we react to, or, the video games, cartoons, and anime we do discussion videos on, you can bring them as a part of our community without them having to need to pledge. But they also get a special reward, and this is 3 video tickets. So these can be used to request videos. 1 ticket equals 10 minutes, so if you guys have seen, we've done a lot of shipping video requests, we've done a lot of reaction requests that say pay Patreon video in the brackets, and so those are videos that patrons have used their tickets on to get us to do for them. The Calzones have access to the Calzone, which is a special reward for this tier that I'll explain in a moment, but they get access to all previous rewards. They get 6 video tickets, which would be long enough for, say, 2 anime episode reactions, or 6 10-minute videos, so 6 shipping videos, for example, 6 discussion videos if they're all 10 minutes long, and they also have the ability to invite 2 of their friends into the Discord server without them needing to pledge on Patreon. And they will also get access to the VIP chat since they are a VIP. And so that is where the Calzone comes in. The Calzone is our VIP text chat on Discord. We also do a monthly VIP-only voice call. Let's just take a small break here to thank the moderators on my Discord server. So they obviously help out a lot with moderating and setting up events for the community and just being, you know, generally good parts of the community to have around. So I just wanted to include this little bit in between all the patrons to just sort of thank them for their work, thank them for helping out in my community, and all that sort of stuff. The Caltalists have access to all previous rewards, 15 video tickets, the ability to add me as a friend on Discord so I can go ahead and make a private group chat with them so they have direct private access to us, the ability to invite 3 of their friends onto the Discord server without them needing to pledge on Patreon. Those friends will also get access to the VIP chat as well, and their special reward is auto-hosting their live streams on my Twitch and being able to promote their videos in the Discord server. The Catastrophes have access to all previous rewards, 30 video tickets, access to my private Instagram, Snapchat, and a private group with just Hunter and I. They have the ability to invite 5 of their friends into the Discord server without them needing to pledge over on Patreon, and those friends will also get access to the VIP chat since at the $100 tier you are of course a VIP. For the special reward, we would make videos and collaborate together, so we could write the script together, record the lines together, edit and post the video on my channel. They would be sort of credited and all of their links would be posted in the description and all of that normal stuff that you would expect from a collaboration like this. But obviously it is a very special project because it would be, you know, from a patron, it would be sort of a community project, and that's why it's one of my favorite special rewards. So again, one big thank you to all the patrons over on Patreon who help keep the channel alive. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.